Yo,
Hello, is this actual live?
yeah, this is actual.
You scrubbing your I'm trying to think of it, fake a new word for teeth.
Uh,
If anyone from this trash hole company Anchor is listening, I believe I've isolated the bug. I think I cannot put my phone away. Like I can't go to the lock screen and put my phone in my pocket, or it will go for a
damn,
second, but then it'll watch. I'm gonna do it. I've noticed this. Pretty much when we usually talk, I keep my phone open
same.
because I feel like I have noticed that it shuts down when I put it on the lock screen. Watch this. Go into the lock screen. I'm gonna sit it in my pocket. Well,
Yeah,
I didn't even turn it off the lock screen. I gotta say, I didn't even do anything. I was just about to.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Uh,
Anchor is garbage. I will
I
say
don't.
that. I don't think they're good. I think it's a new idea and it is having a lot of problems because it's new.
Yeah, maybe they just don't have enough people.
Well, it's not very popular. But Anchor guys, just I don't know what you have to do, but the problems are kind of annoying.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I want to make some food right now. I want to cut up some veggies, but I have to keep my phone in my hand, open, and the screen on.
I mean, can't you just set it down like on the counter?
Yeah, but I have to move around. Like I don't have a
Yeah,
long cord.
can't you just put the phone in your pocket and leave it rolling? But I guess you risk the chance of.
Let me try.
I don't know.
So I put it
I
in my
al-
pocket right now.
I also
It's
think that
screen's on.
maybe my room just sucks. Like my service is just really bad.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
I'm just peeling the skin off an onion right now. About to head to the morning griddle.
nice. Very peeling back the layers this morning on this four.
On this skin.
Yeah.
Peeling back the yeah. Did you know it's bicycle day?
No, didn't know that. What is that? Is that like just
It's
like
the
one of
day.
those like just another one of the Instagram holidays?
No, it's the day LSD was invented. The day before 420.
Really?
Every year, yeah. This is the day that you're supposed to do psychedelics.
Are you doing? Are you partaking in this?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I never participated in the day because I didn't have any in my I'm on my person ever. Like I've never had psychedelics,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have. Okay, I gotta come clean. The other day I did take one.
Did you?
That might have been the reason I got sick. I was like,
Um.
I don't know, because it is pretty stressful on everything. It kind of does
Yeah. I mean,
it rocks your system.
whenever okay, so guys, we did a little bit of acid on our Carnival cruise um this past
Just
Christmas.
just one hit, and that's all I did on Monday. I did one hit of acid, and I honestly thought it was like a dud for a while. There was like an hour that passed or so
Uh-huh.
where I was like, "This is not working," and then oh my god, it hit me so hard this time. Like I wasn't like seeing anything. It wasn't like visuals. Although I will say, I since taking it a lot, I was like, LSD is not that great. It's not that cool, but your vision does throb. Like everything you look at sort of does breathe a bit. Like everything's sort of just like got a little bit of warpiness to it.
Yeah, what time do you take it?
Oh, maybe like noonish.
Yeah. And
I mean, did like it, but I didn't get anything done. Like I was
did you
like,
think you were going to?
I thought. I mean, it is like a caffeine pill a little bit, but I was so like just I couldn't concentrate on anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. it was highly emotional.
Yeah. That's just how it is. I think would you say it was more emotional than other times?
A little bit.
Yeah, I think
I don't know why. I think
probably.
I mean it's a combination of like sometimes a cup of coffee hits you really hard and sometimes it does nothing. I
Hmm.
think it's the same way. Like
Yeah, but you also are that was the first time you did it inside, right?
no, I had done it inside by myself before.
Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think maybe I thought I was gonna say maybe it's more emotional because you're like inside and you have more like I don't know. Sometimes when you're inside, you feel like more like closed up.
Nah, I was like I didn't know what to do. I started like listening to like songs I wrote like last year, and I was like, oh my god, I was like really getting emotional about the emotions that I was going through,
Yeah.
and I was just like, yeah, I was just walking around. I like to like wear no clothes too, I mean, maybe that's a little cliche, but it's just nice to like strip down and really feel like a human being.
Wait, so you were just like walking around naked?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's another reason maybe I got sick because it wasn't that warm that day. So I might have gotten a little bit of a cold
Don't you feel
from
like
walking.
why like but like why did you get naked? Like what did that you did that just you felt that helped you?
Yeah, I took a bath and
Mm.
then
And then just didn't put any clothes on.
just I guess it's just like the concept of being pure or something, just the raw person.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
I put on boxers
Mm.
eventually, just like because it was a little bit cold and I just felt like I was flopping around too
Yeah.
much.
That's the thing about walking around naked. I feel like I don't know, you just start to like yeah, your like wiener just like is gonna be hitting your balls are gonna be hitting your leg and like I don't know. I mean, I guess you probably weren't running, so it wasn't like really.
No,
Yeah,
but what do you think? Do you want to come over and take one to celebrate Bicycle
no,
Day?
I don't.
What?
I don't like, I mean, after the whole Carnival Cruise experience, I'm just not, I don't want to do acid or,
That's the thing too. When I took it the other day, I was like, "This isn't really fun." Like,
yeah, it does,
I'm
it stresses
stressed.
me out a lot. I mean, I have to be,
I think you'd have to
I've
smoke
never
weed at the
taken
same
like, I
time.
feel like I would take 2 hits in nature or I would, if I didn't have any obligations the next day, but that's the only I'm only ever gonna do psychedelics in like on like a camping trip or on like a just like in nature. Yeah, I mean, unless I'm with like a really like group of people that like I'm really close to and I just would like have a good time tripping, I would. But um yeah, I did not have a good time on the cruise. I was very stressed, and I got
Yeah.
sick. I got really sick that next day, and that probably
Oh
was
yeah.
the stress that I
I swear
had.
it does.
Probably it
It
lowered my
does.
immune system and really like
Yeah. Stress and I wouldn't say that LSD lowers your immune system, but I would say, I mean, it's
the
just a
side
fact.
effect.
Stress does.
Maybe yeah,
Yeah. And I swear it does put you in a constant state of stress. You're kind of excited,
right.
like you've got a smile on your
Well,
face,
you
but
have
you're
like
just like,
that. You have like a feeling in your stomach. You're like, oh my god.
yeah. Yeah, it's like you're at the top of a roller coaster constantly.
Yeah, and yeah, when it
I would say like I can't believe that the aesthetics and like the sort of like folklore behind LSD is like the drippy melty clocks and like all of the imagery associated with LSD and psychedelics in my opinion is not warranted. I don't know exactly how it would visualize the feeling that I feel, but it's not what I see in pop culture associated with psychedelics, at least personally.
yeah. Yeah,
So no.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I just
Well, do you want to make some shirts or something?
Yeah. I thought, or did we talk about that? We talked about doing like a live stream, a live.
Yeah, making shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, I could be down for that. See if Sean wants to do it too. I actually,
Yeah.
I have I hopefully Megan doesn't listen to this podcast because I've been driving her car since they've been gone. So it's been really nice having a car again. I will say that.
Mm,
But I've tried to be
that's
not.
good.
I've stayed in WeHole last 2 days. So I didn't want to drive it because I think it's illegal. I don't know. It's like on the line probably, but yeah, I haven't really been. I'd stayed
Mm.
there in the WeHole last 2 nights because I didn't want to drive it, but I wanted to come and sleep in my own fucking bed, so I drove it home last night.
For the listeners, weehole is our slang term for WeHo, which is a slang term for West
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood.
Or we might just call it the hole.
We call it the hole, weehole. I picture a wiener hole when I say it.
I picture a butthole.
Hmm.
Interesting. Well, let us know what you guys picture WeHole as. Yeah, so I speaking of holes, sometimes things do happen in when you're a creator like ourselves. Different things happen. Um, and I sent in our group Insta David Dobrik. They do their podcast views. And they did a whole podcast last night, and one of the people on the podcast, Jason, forgot I guess his mic wasn't plugged in for the entire podcast, so they had to like do it all again. And that actually happened too. That's all, folks. Like the first episode, which was really good, and I didn't know that you had to fucking hold your finger on the damn button the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
It is real. It's happened to me. I mean, I've shot entire videos. I've recorded podcasts where it hasn't recorded. Like, this has happened to me many, many times. Like, I've lost hours of either audio or
yeah,
video.
you've worked in the industry, so you've had more occasions for that.
It's really sad. It doesn't get easier. I mean, at least the only thing that's easier about it is that this is a feeling. This is this happened before and it'll happen again.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of just have to take a walk. It's kind of like
Yeah.
getting like a ticket, in my opinion. You like take a deep breath and you're like, okay, maybe not so much ticket, 'cause, well, you could prevent either one.
It's weird because the only thing that's really disappointing about it is that you feel like there's some sort of magic in, like, especially with a podcast, which is like you're getting interaction between people and their things they're saying are actual like reactions, and sometimes that's like it's not scripted, and it's like that it's real in like a really good way. And so then, especially when I was making videos, if it would have to like be like, oh, I'm sorry guys, I accidentally didn't record that, can you like just say that same thing again, like recreate what you just said? It sounds so fake and it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it's almost like, okay, let's just do something completely different.
Yeah.
But did you listen to Views? Yeah, I'm sure probably not.
Is it the one from today?
Yeah.
Is there one today? No, I haven't.
Yeah, they were pretty bummed about it. And they tried to like go over the same things they talked about, but I think they did a little different.
So they did. They tried to recreate the same concept, conversation, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, I think David did, but like Jason's like, we don't need to do the same thing because.
Yeah, it is hard. It's sad.
Yeah, but they said that they were just going to maybe release David's audio on his own, so then you can just kind of fill in the blanks.
You could probably hear it.
Yeah, maybe like
they're right next to each other.
Like I mean, I don't know how close they are to each other, so.
Sorry, guys. This is kind of just a normal conversation. This is not really.
Yeah.
This is a conversation about another podcast that you guys don't even know.
If you guys want to know what we're talking
probably
about,
don't
you can
listen
check
to.
out Views on.
It's actually just won a Shorty Award.
Yeah.
Because everybody who votes for that is like goddamn kids. Like for best podcast.
Yeah.
Like, do they realize how many podcasts
They
there are out
don't.
there?
Those viewers didn't even know about
the people
podcasts
who
until like they started doing.
That's the reason why Views, David Dobrik, the Viner turned YouTuber. The only reason he won is because all of his fans. Yeah, that's the only podcast they've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say I do like the podcast as a person who has been listening to podcasts for over 10 years. A podcast veteran. I do like their podcast.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check that out, go ahead and do it. But
is it the best one? I don't know about that.
I will say that it is my most consistent podcast that I've been listening to. I have been listening to podcasts for maybe 5 to 6 years now, but like I'm not a veteran. I go through stages.
I still go through stages. I mean, you mean you go through stages of not listening?
Yeah.
I don't go through stages of not listening. I go through stages of liking one podcast and just stop listening to another. But I'm always listening to podcasts.
Let's maybe go and let's say our favorite, maybe top 3 all-time favorite podcasts. So maybe our listeners can, if they are not savvy to podcasts, really, which, I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably are, or maybe you just like one of us and are kind of just like bored.
Yeah.
And maybe just, I don't know. I hope that you just maybe just envy our lifestyle and like think we're really cool, but maybe you'll take our suggestions seriously. So
yeah, I'd have to look at my list of podcasts to say for sure, but I'll try to just remember off the top of my head. Because I probably have listened to in some consistent way, like 40 podcasts in my years of listening to podcasts. I've stayed, but they've fallen in and out of popularity with me. Like my brother,
yeah.
That's a big one that I liked for a really long time. 3 brothers from Southern Ohio who give advice, like fake advice, based off of Yahoo.
They were from Ohio?
It's really funny. Yeah, they're from like
I'm just gonna guess Lima.
What's that town? They're like similar zones, like around
Dayton?
Cincinnati. What's the one that's like near Cincinnati? That's like near West Virginia.
Marietta. Springfield.
It's down there. I can't actually remember where it is.
Cincinnati
it's not a
is not
popular
really
town.
near West Virginia. That's more Kentucky. Athens? Hocking Hills?
No.
Okay.
There's like somewhere down. Isn't it near West Virginia? Like somewhere, whatever. There's a bridge. They said. You remember the town in West Virginia that was like the fattest town in America for a long time, and
in West Virginia.
that one, and yeah, that one guy from the Food Network went there to try to like save it.
No.
Oh, whatever. It's right.
I feel like Marietta is the one. Okay, whatever. Okay, go ahead. So my brother, and me. I actually think I listened to like 1 or 2 episodes of that. I don't know. I think I wasn't really like I wasn't that open to podcasts at that point.
Yeah, and you have to be into like hearing comedy too. Like as a podcast, like it's different. It has a whole vibe. Okay, you go. Fave podcast.
I guess probably the first podcast that I really consistently listened to and was really the only podcast that I listened to for like a while was Mike and Tom Eat Snacks. That was
yeah, that was one of my first ones too. That's one of the first ones that was actually like podcasty.
Yeah.
That I listened to. Yeah, Michael Ian Black and Tom Cavanaugh.
Yeah.
They would just rate and review snacks.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I loved it, but I'm like a huge Michael Ian Black fan, so I
It was just like super sarcastic the whole time.
yeah, but it was good though. It was really, I thought it was
Yeah, it
good.
was good.
I didn't even really know who fucking Tom Cavanaugh was, but I
Neither did
don't, and
I.
I still don't.
No, I don't really.
I think they just worked on a show or something together for a while, so that's how they like. I don't know, but yeah, so they rate and eat snacks, which is a great idea for a podcast.
The show doesn't. It's still up. You can still listen to the apps, but they don't really. They don't keep
Yeah,
up with it.
I think that we should just maybe take over their podcast. Just take the name,
Take all the same jokes, like mention all the,
like
all the jokes that they
yeah,
established through the show. Like just pick them up.
just kind of embody their characters, but
Yeah, just be like. So the viewers at home, just so they know. Oh, well, they're not viewers.
yeah,
Are they viewers? We don't know if they're viewers. They had a running joke that they kept calling their listeners viewers, and they weren't sure if they were viewers or not. I would say another podcast that I don't know if it's a podcast, but here's the one that's back. I'm only mentioning this one because like 10 years ago or so, when I started listening to podcasts, one of the only ones that was out was like there's like This American Life, which is NPR, and On the Media, which was NPR. And I stopped listening to This American Life because it was way too sad and annoying. But I still like On the Media, and I've been listening to that a lot lately again, and it's good. It's just a show from NPR where they talk about the media and not talking about the news stories, but talking about how the news stories are covered, and it's good. They're really good.
Excellent. Yeah, I never got into. I was recommended that This American Life because everyone just said it was really good, but I don't think I ever listened. I think I maybe started. Oh, I think I maybe started one episode and just didn't like. There was a period of time where I was working at Boyert's Greenhouse. Shout out to Boyert's Greenhouse in Medina on Route 71. I think they're probably gonna have they got some sales going on Saturdays, so in the springtime. So they're probably, I think Trees and Shrubs is gonna be maybe this Saturday. So check that out. So I was watering. I worked there and I was just watering plants all day. So I was listening to podcasts, which was actually super relaxing. Yeah. That was like a pretty relaxing 6 months of my life, probably maybe 8.
Yeah. Like I know that they say that bud tending, like picking the weed off of the weed plants, is like kind of just like hard work. But I really, like I was saying the other day about wanting to work at a coffee shop. Like I want to do something like super repetitive like that, so I could just like listen to podcasts all day.
Yeah, that's really all I did. I didn't like. I was kind of like I kind of had my own like kind of agenda, and so basically I would water plants like from like 9 to like 1, and then I would like go and like fill up flats with dirt for like the rest of the fucking day. So like I really didn't talk to anybody except for like when I'm like going and grab stuff, but I always was just listening to podcasts. I started listening to that's when I got really into like the Monday morning podcast with Bill Burr, and which is just him rambling really, but I kind of Bill Burr kind of grew on me, and he's just kind of neurotic, but I don't listen to him anymore. And I was listening to WTF, which I mean I think everyone listens to really.
Everyone does. Everyone did. I feel like WTF got. I think people still do. It's got its fans, but it kind of fell off.
It's just like one
because he talked to every comedian already. Yeah, he has so many episodes. There's nobody else.
I mean, he talks to everyone. So I think originally maybe it was just comedians.
Yeah, it was just comedians. But it was really good.
Yeah, just in-depth interviews, personal life interviews. So that was interesting.
And I and other people also said that they like. I'll say that like I do still recommend WTF, and people said that they were annoyed by his intros where he would just talk about his life and like the things that were bugging him and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, he's just complaining. He's just another man complaining." in listening to rock and roll. But I was like, yeah, I see that. But also, like, I liked hearing about his problems.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was one of the few people who was like, sometimes I would listen to the beginning and not listen to the interview if I didn't care about the person. But I did want to hear what it was like, him just bumping around, talking about whatever.
Yeah. I think, well, a lot of people like, I think real podcast people, like, they kind of listen for that personalization, I guess. Maybe.
You think you real podcast fans like people just speaking off the dome?
Maybe. I don't know about real
talking about
podcast fans,
whatever.
but I think they like that it's relatable and like usually, yeah, he was just like kind of like, oh yeah, this happened, like, oh, this sucks, like, so people are like, oh yeah, like I've been there, whatever. So it just depended on how I was feeling, but I definitely did skip through a lot of intros because I just kind of wanted to listen to the interview.
I'll say it. I never skipped the WTF intro.
I mean, I don't know. I listened to a fuckload of those, so.
Yeah, I listened to a ton too.
So yeah, that's another one, guys. These days I haven't been listening to shit other than views kind of got me back into podcasts. I think I kind of fell off, but I guess YouTube kind of took over like my podcast gap for a little bit, and it still kind of has.
Yeah, it kind of did for a while for me too, but I kind of stopped. I've chilled out on YouTube. I'm going dipping back into podcasts.
Yeah.
Let me look at my. Hopefully, this won't cut out.
It probably will.
How long have we been
25
talking?
minutes. Guys, rate us in the freaking Apple Store.
Rate us in the Apple Store. Here, hopefully this won't cut, but let me check out my
your queue
other podcast app. I'll shout out to Stitcher, the app Stitcher, the podcast app, because while I think most podcast apps suck, and Stitcher kind of does too, but Stitcher compresses all the podcasts into really tiny file sizes, so they kind of don't sound good, but no matter how bad your cell phone connection, you'll probably be able to play a Stitcher.
What the hell is a Stitcher?
Well, it's just a podcast aggregator, so it's an app, and you can put your favorite podcasts in a playlist. In like
gotcha.
It's an alternative to like the podcast app or any other podcast player.
Like alt-right?
My friend John, yeah, my friend John hates Stitcher because they compress the audio, and he says it sounds bad. But I was like, I'm just in so many situations where I have no signal and I want to listen to something. Benjamin Walker's Theory of Everything, I would highly recommend that. It's just a guy who just interviews people. He talks about surveillance. He talks about all kinds of like cultural concepts and does a pretty good job with the production. Any
what?
You want to go?
Yeah. I will say I don't think they actually have come out with anything yet, but the Trash Cast podcast sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting. I don't even know if there's been an announcement. I just have a feeling.
Trash Cast.
Trash Cast. Guys, that was.
Let me see if I can give you another deep. Well, just like I thought, you can't leave the app, the Anchor app, or else it will glitch out. Your phone can't handle it, or else the iPhone SE can't handle it.
I don't
At
know.
least.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe I don't think it's the SE, but
do you think that the app totally quit? Do you think that audio was saved? What we just talked, that last 25 minutes?
Yeah. I think that because that happened to me. Actually,
God.
my phone totally died, and it was okay.
I'll give Anchor some props on that. At least the audio is hopefully saved. Wow.
This is about to turn into a freaking episode of the Bong Water. I'm getting fucking pissed.
Yeah, it's really annoying. As soon as I was complimenting them, just shut me down.
I know. I was going to say when I got cut off, I was gonna say, what's your overall rating like of Anchor as like a 5-star
I would say it's
scale?
I'll give it a three stars.
Yeah,
Because I just
that's
think
probably what I'd rate it
while I
to.
like it a lot, it's just so buggy that I can't give it those 2 other stars.
At 2 stars.
We just reduced it. I swear that they do have like machine learning listening to it, and they hear Anchor and they hear like a few words that are negative, and they're like, let's shut it down. Just have it. They have a shutdown program.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking the boys at Anchor are just sitting around fucking having a good old laugh. Fuck
If you're listening
you
at
guys.
home, if you hear there's like every time we get cut off, I'm going to throw like a little sound effect in there. That means that Anchor dropped a call. That's what that is.
Yeah, I do.
Wow. This is dumb. We should just wrap it up because Anchor clearly wants us to like end the show. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulty. You could take it up with Anchor.
Garbage
Hold on, let me say that one more time. You take that up with Anchor.
Still here.
Okay. No, I think they like to cut us off in the middle of things, so they're not going to give us the pleasure of signing off like that.